I'm very happy to welcome you all. And I was thinking to tell you some funny story how the idea for this project originated. But given that I'm academic, there is no such story. There is no funny story about it. What I can tell you, though, is that some years ago, during these COVID curfews, I was rereading Wittgenstein, of course. And I ran into one of his thoughts where he says that faith is trusting, while superstition is sort of like a pseudoscience, pseudo-technological stance through which humans try to arrange things for themselves here in this world by evoking some supernatural powers. And then I started thinking, well, is that true? And did people in the past thought about science, faith, and superstition in the same way? And luckily, our funders decided that the question was worth pursuing, so they gave us funding to do it. So first, I would like to thank Templeton Foundation and Ian Renzi Center for Science and Religion in Oxford for giving us this opportunity. I would also like to thank our wonderful hosts, Faculty of Philosophy and the University Library for making it possible. And last but not the least, I would love to thank all my people, and you know who you are, who helped me in making this event reality. So enough from me. Thank you all, enjoyed the conference, and I'm giving the word to Professor Jerkov.
It is my privilege to welcome you on behalf of University Library and partially University of Belgrade as such. I'm Aleksandar Jerkov. I'm professor of Serbian literature at the Philological Faculty in Belgrade, and last 10 years I'm head of this library. I'm delighted to have you all here. We are trying always to do our best to support the really important academic events. 2 weeks ago we had a conference on Darwinism, which turns out to be an important question for Serbian society. Strangely enough, after all those years of socialism, but trusting in the science, we are facing some social dilemmas about competition between two theories that are not really in the same field or could be judged. Darwinism, with all its benefits and shortcomings, if there are some, and creationist theory that is not something that we used to be familiar with over that period of time. And seeing that the debate in the society has reached some very high levels, and some organizations and committees that are not unimportant for our society, it is very important for us to see what you will come up with by the end of this conference, especially since you have named it this way, like a science, faith, and superstition, like downsliding. You could say as an uphill battle, superstition, faith, and science. But then the old critic in me asked me, is it less dangerous to trust in science as such? That is highly related to this Wittgensteinian questioning everything that is around. Let me give you two very simple examples. 2 days ago was a celebration day. This is a heavy quotation marks. It is 40 years since Michel Foucault died. So when I say celebration, you understand, that I'm just trying to be very ironic. Like 40 years later, I have run into a list of distinguished professors and their results. And Michel Foucault was one of the 10 the most quoted authors in the United States of America and Western world. But he's referred to as a Michael and affiliated with MIT. So the scientific parameters for his achievement are not very, culturally speaking, something that we could embrace or support. And of course, the other one is, we now know for sure that Mr. Fauci, during the COVID crisis that she has mentioned, erased official correspondence concerning amount of money and relations between certain organizations in the United States of America and in China. So the highest level of science there can produce for all of us certain questions that we still need to address and to relate to. So not to waste more of your time, I'm really happy to have you all here, and I do believe that the science is the only way through and to go through the 21st century. I know that we all have to face, the challenges of technology in IT industries and everything, and still that I have spent maybe 30, 35 years of my life criticizing the projects of modernity. I still think that the knowledge is the only tool that will bring us to some better future. I hope that we will enjoy these days, and I'll stay whenever I can with you. You will forgive me. I have only 2 working days before I go to Cyprus to another conference that I'm attending myself, and I will have, I hope, enough understanding for the situations that a director who is not very delighted to be a director at all needs to face and to deal with. The floor, Professor Fuller, is yours. And we will all enjoy listening what you have to say for this time.